Alrighty guys, here you go. I know you've been waiting for it. Planning on shooting it since it showed up on Friday. It is the video review for the Daca Toys KRONOS, which is the TV version of Skyfire from the old cartoon series. And you'll notice that it is a fairly accurate representation of his giant jet mode from the cartoon, blocky as it may be. It's huge. Very large. I know a lot of people were worried about the paint on the backpack, and you can see that it is actually a nice, vibrant white. It's not that kind of bleedy through pink that the test shots were, and really kind of cool. A lot of heft to it. It's especially when it's all kind of condensed down into jet mode. It's really, I mean, like there's definitely some weight to it. It weighs something like 4 or 5 times Masterpiece Prime, but a good amount of heft. There's die cast all down here in the legs and up here in the core of the body and the cockpit, and a few other places as well. The hip, the waist assembly as well, all die cast, which gives it a good heft. Like I'm kind of getting tired of holding it up here one-handed. Then you get the gun as well. Just to get a size comparison of him, here he is with the Classics Voyager Jetfire. Just to get an idea of just how large he is in comparison. Actually, I'm using a different review space here just because, one, I wanted to have more of a neutral background for the white, and two, it lets me get a little bit further back from the figure itself to show it off. So that just to give you some size comparisons there in vehicle mode. Alright, quick edit to get Skyfire here into robot mode for later in the video, and on we go. So, the gun can store underneath the jet mode. Now, you don't always want to keep it under there because it will, it sticks out a little bit, and it wouldn't sit flat. But it's really quite simple. You just take this, and you slide this up under here. There's a little tab, or the other way. There's a little handle, there's a little peg up under here. You can slide up under here, and then bring the arms up to kind of support it in place there. Keep the arms straight. And that will, you can shake it, it'll lock that gun underneath the vehicle mode pretty securely, and it's not that it'll stay there. You can whoosh it around. It's really very whooshable jet, which is nice. And then you just pull it out when you're ready. Just a matter of kind of unhooking it off that lip. So it's really easy to get in and out of there, and just fiddle with the arms to adjust it if you're having trouble getting it to lock. But yeah, the gun can be stored underneath jet mode. Now, to transform it, I know there are a lot of people who are upset about the backpack. It's not the end of the world. Basically, and one of the things that's cool too is the backpack has these die-cast hinges that come out and tab into the legs, because there's a lot of weight. Like, even though it's got strong hips, a lot of die-cast weight here in the back of the jet. And so by having these hinges plug into the legs, you can shake it, and these don't droop at all. It makes it all very secure, a nice, good, solid jet mode, which is nice. So yeah, to pop the backpack off, you want to unpeg the legs off of those support struts you can see right there. And then you just take this and slide it up, and there's a little tab here. There's a little tab right there that slides in here for jet mode and here for robot mode. So you fold these up, and then what's neat is there's some covers here for the wings, and when you they're supposed to be flipped up, but if you forget, that's one of the things I like the way these meet. Even if you forget to fold those up first, they will automatically fold up with the wing when you do that. Then you flatten these, and there's the backpack piece. Now this back plate here also comes off. You just kind of unsnap it. There's a couple of clips here that clip on to these right here, and that's going to let the arms transform here. So once we got that, we got the base robot mode, and you can really start at the legs or the top. We'll go ahead and do the top part of the, or we'll do the legs first. So the arms come up. Oh, okay. We have to do the arms a little bit before we do the legs. So these pieces right here come unpegged. There's a little peg right here, and then they peg in to the side of the arm right here. Make sure that's all on camera. Yes, it is. Okay. So these are the torso pieces, and these come off just like that, which lets you lift the arms up like this and pull it around. And once that's done, you can close the legs. Now the legs collapse together like this. You can see there's the lower half. They got some nice ratcheting down the extensions. Good. The feet open. Actually, there's also what's cool. There's a little tab here that locks the foot. It has an ankle tilt, but since you want them straight for jet mode, there's a little tab there. Once you lift that up, you've got ankle tilts, which is nice. So you unpeg that, fold these little flaps out, and then the feet, you flip this all the way back, flip the toe out from under here, and you got some good strong die-cast feet here. And that's pretty much the lower body done with. So we'll get him standing up here. And he's kind of leaning back right now just due to the way I've got everything hanging off. But he's very secure, even though his feet aren't even flat. But yeah, you get everything flat and he's nice and tidy. So make sure it all fold up here to the top part of the body. Oh, knocked my headphones off. Awesome. So anyway, it's the top part of the body. You bring these out, and this whole assembly here rotates down. You collapse the nose into the jet. There's a little lever here. You can kind of push on the tip too as well. So collapse that in and fold this down. That'll bring the head up just like that. And then these panels, oh, you want to pop these pop off as well, these little intakes on the side of the cockpit. Starting to see I've gotten a sheen. It's much hotter in here than my usual shooting area. So these come up, and then these plug in right up here next to the head. You're going to push those. Again, they peg into the same tabs up here in this back plate part. Just like that, into the side of the body. And then you lift these up right here. These are going to lock the arms in. And here's where, these are the posts that the back plate clips onto. And the reason you have to take it off is because these slide up on those same posts. So you slide the arm up, fold it into the shoulder, like that, and then fold this tab down to lock it in place, just like that. And the same over here. So yeah, going along so far. This actually pegs together a lot better. I just hadn't pegged that all the way. So that actually locks together really nicely. And there's the most of the robot mode. And what's nice is he's got these shoulders, but there's actually a piece underneath there. So even though this has to be a gap, it doesn't look like a gappy shoulder. It fills in that little bit. So you open this up, flip the hands out. We'll get to the hands in a minute. You also hear those nice ratchets in the shoulders too. It's got a nice, good solid figure. All right, so there it is. That. Now, all the rest of the pieces go back on. These vents right here store in the, there's a proper side. They store inside the backpack, just like that. And then you just take this back plate, snap it right back on here, and then fold these panels in on either side. And then that tab right there, you plug into this bottom half on the jetpack. So you just ride this up, slot that on, and there he is in robot mode. And he's very large, he's very heavy, and a lot of people had an issue with like the white. And the thing is, like, if you take a picture with a flash or stuff, it looks a lot more white than it is. I mean, it is a white figure. That's his color scheme on the show. A little bit of red on some of these places might be a repro label set or whatever. He is very white, but as you can kind of see down here on the legs, and it's much more striking in person. There's a lot of, let me get up close on it here. There's a lot of tech detail all over his body that, and just in natural, like, top-down lighting, really makes him look a lot more dynamic than just solid white. Because you can see he is mostly white paint, but there's a lot of neat little tech details all over his body. So he looks a lot more dynamic in hand versus some of the white shots. I mean, I've tried to take some pictures of him where he just looks solid white. I get the complaints when you see the pictures, but in hand, he's actually got a lot of neat little details all over him. And it's very solid. His hands, let me zoom in here again to focus on his hands, because his hands, if you can see, actually have, oh, hold on. Let me focus on that. All three knuckles. It's not just a knuckle here. There's a knuckle here, and even the little fingertip has its own knuckle. And even on the thumb has two knuckles. So you get a lot of real good posability out of the fingers, which is nice. Back out for the wide shot. And then he holds his gun. It's got a little peg on either side of it. He can hold it in either hand. I'm going to put it in his right just for the sake of it. Plug it in. The fingers can wrap all the way around the handle, which is nice, even the thumb. Nope. Come back around to the top here. And yeah, and you can get it's a little weak there on the shoulder, but so he's got posability-wise, he's got a ball-jointed head, which lets him look up, even down a little bit to a degree. And then he's got the ratcheting shoulders. Pop that up. Bicep swivel, dual hinged elbows. He has a wrist swivel. He's got all those individual articulated fingers. All these panels on his waist as well, as like down here on the ankle, fold out, and you get a good range of motion in all the legs. Nice ratcheting knees. And he's even got ratcheting ankles, and as well as that that previously listed ankle tilt. His ankles have some pretty strong ratchets up in there as well. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. He does have a little bit of a waist swivel. The backpack limits it a little bit, but if you pop the backpack off again, you can get some twisty poses. But yeah, he's really cool. He's very accurate to the screen. A nice, big, hefty figure for your money. Size comparison. We'll do that in just a minute. Like I said, we showed him off with the Voyager Classic Skyfire at the beginning of the video. You can see he's much larger. I did not bring Feral Rex in. If you saw my Twitter, I did take some pictures with Feral Rex, and they're about the same height. But here he is with his old scientist buddy Starscream. Or a Masterpiece Starscream. And with Masterpiece Prime. Those are the ones I brought in for size comparison. And I'm not sure what the... Like, I didn't go back and watch the cartoon yet, so I'm not sure exactly how that scales cartoon-wise. But he's a big mamma jamma. Is really what it boils down to. And like I said, a lot, like, I think like 4 times as heavy, if you put him on a scale, as Masterpiece Prime there. So yeah, there is the Daca Toys KRONOS, this Skyfire. I'm really happy with it. Like, I saw all the test shots floating around and was looking at it. Even I thought, to some degree, like, there's a lot of white there. And there is, because that's his cartoon scheme, but like, getting him in hand and looking at a lot of the detail all around the figure is really, really nice. There's like rivets in all the little wing panels, and like even on the back of the legs, there's some of these neat little stuff. Like, it's a lot more visually interesting, even though it's white in hand. That I'm really, really digging it. The Autobot symbol may be a little small up here, but I think it works. I haven't put anything on him because he, you know, in that first episode, he was an Autobot and Decepticon as he made up his mind. But so yeah, you can put a faction symbol of your choice up there. The head. Let me focus up on the face here real quick. I know a lot of people were complaining, like very bright blue eyes, nice silver paint, not nearly as dark, a really nice head sculpt. All in all, a really nice Skyfire. I'm very happy to have it. It's very cool. And there it is, the Daca Toys. Go ahead and put Prime and Starscream back in here just for the final shot. The big finish. So there it is, the Daca Toys KRONOS.